Well, glad you stuck around for the famous Fresh Outlook at Lightning Round, where we touch on a whole bunch of subjects. We're going to touch on probably the saddest thing that happened this week, at least in the world of entertainment, and was the passing of Joan Rivers. Really a very funny woman and a comic genius and a trailblazer. Comments from the panel.
I think whether you liked her humor or not, to me, she had a winning personality, and that's why she was so successful. She was very comfortable in her own skin, and she was a trailblazer, and she was different and a character.
One of the first female comics to do well on TV, to do well on other people's late night shows. Johnny Carson loved her. And I believe the first female to have a late night talk show. I mean, she was huge. She wasn't just funny. She was a smart businesswoman, made a lot of money on QVC. I mean, Joan Rivers was just awesome.
And she was driven.
Very.
And she did not care what anyone thought. That's what I liked about her. She did not care. She did her thing. Did not need anyone to say they liked what she did, and one of the only women in comedy who made it. It's very difficult for women.
Very driven, and no participation award for her.
No.
She wanted to be number one, and she worked every single day.
Right.
Let's talk about some of the upcoming movies, if we can, and we'll do as many as we can. TV shows. Gotham is this new TV show about Gotham before Batman's arrival, and it's coming out in September, which we are in right now. Any comic book fans here?
Oh, yeah, I am.
You are? Okay.
And I happen to like Batman a lot. I think it's one of the best superheroes because he's technically human, right? And he doesn't really fly, but he creates all these contraptions as the kid in me comes out. And I like the fact that he's a loner and doesn't take any stuff from anybody. I mean, I think it's going to be a really interesting show. I think a lot of people like Batman. They've had very successful movies.
Anything with Batman works.
Right.
I don't know why, but it does. It's all good.
Okay.
Even when it had like Batmans were not that great, but this show looks wonderful.
We have a show called Forever, which is about a medical examiner who does not die. Interesting.
Dr.
premise.
Bart?
Dr. Bart? You're in the field of medicine?
I'd be more interested in that one than the comic book stuff. I'll leave the comic stuff up to these guys. But I like this kind of thing. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit unusual. I'd go for that.
Well, you know what? I jumped to one here. We have to go back to The Flash, which is also coming out. Another comic book. By the way, do we have enough comic book movies and shows on already?
Never.
And what does that say about who's watching
Oh,
television?
boy, I think so.
It's like they're heroes, and it's fun, and it's great. You know, Flash, underrated. We've not heard enough from the Flash, so I'm looking forward
I
to
think
that.
he's overrated.
No, he's not overrated.
What's your
Look, the
superpower?
Flash.
I'm really fast.
Batman
Oh,
has had
okay.
3 million Batmans. It's still good, but where's the Flash? It's time for the Flash.
I'd just
Looking
take
forward to
good
it.
comedy. I'd like a good comedy show over the comics, but that's just me.
Well, we have tons of reality TV. Do you see reality TV?
I wish.
I've seen it sort of phasing out a little bit, ever so slowly. I think people maybe have had their fill after
No, we're
20
going to
years.
see more of it. It's
You
cheap
think
to
so?
produce, and they make a lot of money.
It's amazing and so popular.
You became a business professor in a hurry.
Yes, yes.
We also have a show that's called Selfie, about a woman who takes selfies and thinks the world begins and ends with her.
Sadly enough.
Dee Dee, take this.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say Let me get my selfie out. Okay.
Right.
No, it's going to do well because the Kardashians do well. It's the same sort of narcissistic, fun,
Right.
way of life, and people like it.
Well, we touched on reality. Isn't reality reality TV narcissistic to begin with? It's all
Yeah,
about.
of course.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan, I have to say. I think it's
Neither am I.
it's over the top in many cases, and it's like people are pushing you to look at this stuff
And
that's
the
out there.
irony, Dr. Bart, of reality TV is it's not really a reflection of reality. It's
True.
very
It's
unreal.
very
It's all
well- it's-
staged
yeah.
and performed.
I find those housewives not really housewives. Housewives are generally
There's
working.
another term that we're on family TV, and I
And
won't
then they
say it.
sort of become something else. I don't
Yeah.
know
Right.
what the word is for it, but they get really bizarre.
There's also a new show coming out, Mysteries of Laura.
I like that.
Tell us about Mysteries of-
I like Deborah Messing. I think she presents herself extremely well, and I think that's going to be a hit.
She was in that long-running show Forever.
Will and Grace.
Will and Grace, thank you.
Very good in that. Really good.
So she's had it. She knows TV, and TV knows her, and people know her. So this could be a possible hit. Are a lot of these shows, do you think, star-driven? You get a big seller.
Definitely.
To a certain degree, Robin Williams, the late Robin Williams, was on Crazy Like Us. What was it called again? Crazy Kids.
I can't remember. I can't remember.
The
I'm
Crazy
sorry.
Ones, thank
Oh,
you.
yeah, that's right.
And that was a big draw. Do you
Right.
think Deborah Messing will be a big draw
I
to
think
this
so.
show?
I think so,
she's
too.
good.
I think what's interesting about TV stuff now is that these big stars
Are doing it.
coming to TV.
Well, there's so much
Oh, yeah,
reality
big
TV
way.
that they
In a
can't
big
get
way.
I
on.
don't go to TV, I'm bigger than that, but
Yeah.
now they can do well and make big
Make a
money.
lot of money, a
if
lot of
the
cash.
vehicle works.
Or they end up on Broadway. You see a tremendous amount of big stars on Broadway now. And
Because
I think
the neon lights are bright on Broadway.
Oh.
Oh, is that it? Oh, right. Well, there you
Yeah,
go.
but there's also a lot of good shows out there.
You're a
lot of good
musicologist
shows.
too, aren't you?
You are.
Let's talk about some shows that are ending. Boardwalk Empire. I found it very good.
Walk out of
I
here.
love that
I found
show.
it very good in the beginning, and then it got really bloody and
One of the best
violent.
shows
I love
on
it.
TV since
All right,
The Wire.
well, go ahead. Tell me about it.
Boardwalk Empire is amazing. I'm really glad that Steve Buscemi got his big break. But there's so many other amazing
Well,
actors.
why do you like it? You don't find it overly
Because I
violent?
like history.
Okay.
And it really, well, guess what? History of America and the world is kind of violent.
But that really was based on
on reality.
but it's not really accurate.
Well, you know,
Well,
it is
that-
artistic
well,
license.
yeah, I
of
mean,
course.
you know,
but it's,
but
I love
sort
the
of
wardrobe, by the
encapsulates.
way. The wardrobe is amazing.
One of the interesting things about Boardwalk Empire, I don't know if anybody knows this, is that one of the writers was Steve Kornacki, who's 32 years old now and is a star on MSNBC. He actually wrote some of the episodes, so it's kind of interesting to see someone from a different walk of life write this. And,
Well, do
very
these
successful.
period pieces work? I think it began with Mad Men, and now everybody's trying it. We saw
I
Boardwalk
think they
Empire,
work.
and then
I
Nick
prefer
now.
them. I'm a history major, so I love it when they really are able
I
to
agree.
encapsulate.
But they're not
the
always
feel for it.
accurate, Dee Dee. Sometimes
Yeah, I
does
know,
that
but don't
bother
be
you
so
that they're
hard.
not
No,
accurate?
I
It's
mean,
drama and entertainment, so, you
But
know, it's not
you
the
and I
History
know that, but
Channel.
the general public does not.
Well, that's
Yeah,
the
but at least they get a
general
feel
public's
for
fault.
it. I mean,
Right.
it's something. It's better than just.
I like
kind
the
of,
history
you know,
too.
present day.
I like History Channel,
I
too,
got to
but
agree with
sometimes-
Dee Dee again. It's
This is three times this show.
I
and
don't know.
This is bad. What about Sons of Anarchy? Anarchy. This ends this last season as
I
well.
haven't really watched that show.
Okay, I watched it, and
Okay.
it's crazy. Okay, you know, kissing. No, I don't like it. It's
Why don't you
very, you know, it's like very. I'm going to get in trouble here, but hillbilly, and it's like these people in there trying to go
It's a
out
lot of
there
money
and
in
kill and
hillbilly
whatever.
now.
I know.
What
I
is
was
it?
born in
It's a lot of
Kentucky,
money.
but I just don't like it being
Nothing
depicted
against
that way.
hillbillies.
You know, I have found TV to be a lot of
They have
these
a very
shows.
powerful lobby, by the way.
Did you just say hillbilly?
Yeah, they have a
That's
very
not-
powerful.
No.
I don't even know if that's a politically correct word anymore.
I
Hillbilly.
know, but it's the only one who could come up with it because it is accurate. And I was born in Kentucky. I can say it. I'm allowed to.
I didn't know there was a hillbilly lobby. I'll be honest
We
with
could
you.
say
I didn't know
Is
that.
that better than
Where
hillbilly?
is the hillbilly lobby? Where is it?
They're in
Did you just make it up?
Kentucky
Oh no. Okay.
or Arkansas.
What does it say about us when you see these shows? There's been this preponderance of shows that are about dissecting human bodies, CSI, and now we see more. There's a show on HBO called The Nick, where it's an operating room in the 20s, and they talk. There's this fascination I find with killing, a morbid fascination with killing, dissecting people's bodies, looking inside the body. And even the violent shows like Boardwalk Empire as well, the grotesque violence that comes with
Yeah,
it.
but they're just
psychology.
shooting them, though. They're not like dissecting them with, you know, medical instruments. That's different.
Well, it's
That's a
basic.
different level.
What it comes down to is basic psychology. As I always say, there's different sides to all of our personalities. This is a side that we all have, the curiosity with that kind of stuff. It's
Right.
there. It's someplace.
Do you agree with this? And also, you're a big Boardwalk Empire fan. Do you agree that people like to see heads blown off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
because
But why? It's a
guess what?
psychologist.
Yeah, I like
Why?
it.
Look, remember, we're all Dr. Jekyll and Hyde, or Mrs. Hyde.
Oh, yeah, thank you very much.
Meaning we have two sides to our personality. We have the light side and the bright side and the happy side and the caring side.
not everybody
We
has
also
that
have
dark side.
Yeah, we all have a
You
dark
think
side.
everyone has that dark side?
Godfather, Goodfellas,
Not like-
the Boardwalk Empire. I mean, you have like the. You know,
Darth
people-
Vader. Dark.
Yeah, Darth Vader. I love
kinda
Darth
dark.
Vader.
Yeah.
But this is a relatively new phenomenon because back in the 50s we had shows, Mom and Dad,
we
the
also
kids.
had
It's
westerns.
boring.
Remember the westerns back in the day?
But
You
they
just
didn't
got
get their heads
shot and
blown off.
killed. Yeah,
Was
you got
there a-
shot and killed.
Yeah, but their heads
The
weren't
heads were not blown
off.
off.
For like
One
both
bullet
hit
hit fell.
somebody.
But was
Took
there
six
a-
bullets
But you're right, it
and
wasn't
turned
on
around
King
and
Harriet.
shot.
Was there a hillbilly
Something.
lobby then?
Yes, they've always been around.
We have to find out where that hillbilly lobby is. I'm
Don't mess
interested
with
to
it, man.
find out.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you
And
don't want to
then
mess
all
with them.
kinds
I
of-
will tell you.
Send your
Sons of
emails to
Anarchy.
Professor Chuck Williams.
Right,
Don't
they're
send them
hillbillies.
those.
They'll send their
Yes,
mark.
Sons of Anarchy. You not want to mess with those
Well,
people.
we hope springs eternal for the movie season. Hope springs eternal for the TV season. I want to thank you all again for sticking around for the lightning round and for the panel as well. Dr. Bart Rossi, the nation's preeminent political
Thank you.
cytologist, Dr. Chuck Williams, Professor Chuck Williams, and of course, Dee Dee Benkie, I love you, but you're nuts. And I just say that.
Thank you, Frank.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
very
Thanks
much.
for joining us on Fresh Outlook. I'm Frank Cipolla. We'll see you next time.